head. Oops, daisy. Everything's falling over too. Okay. It looks like we're live. Let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. We have with us the legendary, the honourable Uncle James Ali Bashir in the room. Uncle Bashir, how are we doing?
We're doing okay. Everything's good.
Fantastic. You still in Poland?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so talk to us. I know you were with Wladimir Katsuk over the weekend.
Yes.
Talk to us. Give us a report on how that went.
He got a unanimous decision. He has yet to get a KO in any of his fights. But to his credit, this time we got there and we were immediately rushed into the ring, so we didn't have no time for warm-up, 4-round fight. And, you know, when a guy is on a mission to stay conscious, it's hard to stop that, you know. So he got a decision. He got a unanimous decision. You know, we have to try to build and go on to the next fights now.
What do you learn from a fight like that? You've got the guy who doesn't want to get knocked out. Does that question the punching power of the guy that you have, or do you think it's just a durable opponent?
Well, I just think that he's a durable opponent, and then when an opponent has in his mind that I'm not going to get knocked out, it's very difficult to get the knockout. So I just instructed Wladimir to take it easy and get the win, you know. Don't go there trying to overly impress, because a lot of times you try to impress and you wind up getting knocked out. So just go stay behind the jab and try to win the fight, because the guy obviously, every 2 punches the guy was grabbing, holding, wrestling, and the referee didn't say nothing. So I didn't get frustrated because I didn't want the fighter to get frustrated. So I just said, hey, just go out and get the win. Win in every round. So 4-round fight, so no rush.
In your opinion of Wladimir Katsuk, not much of his 3 fights, but what from his work ethic and working with him, what are you getting from him?
He's growing. He has the willingness to learn. He's serious. He listens to my instructions well. Overall, he's doing good. I like what I see in him.
Okay, that's good to hear. Let's talk a little further. You were in Poland, of course. Would it be wrong to assume that Izu Ugono fought on the same bill?
Yes, he was the main event on the same bill.
Okay, what was your assessment of the fight?
Well, I observed when he came in the ring. I observed that he had zero perspiration on him, meaning that he did not warm up. It seemed apparent to me that he didn't warm up. Even if they said he warmed up, it must not have been a good warm up, because there was no perspiration bristling from the body when they took the robe off, and I didn't see none on his face. So I just assumed that he did not warm up in the locker room properly.
Okay, I found it to be perplexing that Izu did not use a right hand. He was using the jab like it was a sparring session, just a flicking jab, and he allowed this guy Rodzinski to walk him down and throw overhand rights at him.
I spoke to Izu this morning, and he told me that he didn't blame nobody for his mishap but himself. He said that his camp was good, the training camp was good, that he did everything accordingly. But his explanation to me was that the spirit didn't show up. You know, he said he just didn't have the spirit to fight.
It seemed apparent. It seemed very apparent. It seemed very apparent.
He's, you know, I didn't ask him. He just told me. He said my spirit wasn't there. You know, my spirit wasn't there, and as a result, I got TKO.
He didn't throw a right hand, and the only time he did throw a right hand was when he was on the verge of getting knocked out. For the whole of that fight, he was using a jab, just a jab, like his right hand was injured or his gun shy.
Well, it got another loss on his record.
That's not good. He should retire. If he's not going to, he looked very vulnerable. Every time that guy hit him, he looked like he was going to get knocked out every time. He looked like his punch resistance is very low. Either that or his confidence very low.
He looked very vulnerable in the fight. He looked very vulnerable.
He had that Herbie Hyde look to him. You remember Herbie Hyde? He's hit Hyde with a punch. He had that same look.
Yeah, I remember Herbie Hyde.
Maybe they're from the same tribe. Apart from Herbie would fight back a bit more.
Herbie Hyde from Nigeria?
Yeah, he's from Nigeria.
Yeah, he's a heck of a puncher, Herbie Hyde was.
He was. He had a bit of heart as well.
Yeah.
So
he was a rough customer. He was a rough customer, but he's out there.
He was. I know that Izu passed and was considering you as a trainer. Had he taken you on board as a trainer, all this could have been avoided, correct or not?
I won't say that it could have been avoided because the same thing could happen with me. But I will say that it's not likely. It's not likely that it would have happened because I would have saw some things before the fight.
On the subject of training, I'm not sure if you've seen the latest of Anthony Joshua's adventures in training. There's a video of him trying to drop backwards moving backwards on a treadmill, moving forwards. He's moving backwards on a treadmill and throwing punches. That's the first video. There's another video of him in water, throwing uppercuts in water. And the latest one with him is throwing a jab and the trainer throwing a towel and him throwing the jab. And he's meant to throw the jab before the trainer hits him with a towel. And then the other one is with him with a tennis ball. And he's bouncing back and forth. And me personally, I'm mortified as to what is going on here. You're the experienced trainer here, Uncle. Talk to us about these training methods.
I saw a video today with Bernard Hopkins.
Yes.
I don't know whether you saw it yet. Speaking about trainers and teachers.
Yes.
You saw that?
No, I haven't seen it today, but I know he spoke. I've heard a video of him talking about the lack of mentors or trainers in boxing today.
Well, he went on to say, he alluded to the fact that there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trainers, but there are very few teachers, something that you and I have expounded on continuously over the years that you and I have been speaking. He was right. There are far too few teachers, and everybody wants to be this grandiose trainer, who seem to clamor for attention more than even the boxers. To say that that this person or that person is going to be this or it's not going to be that is a far-gone conclusion. But I will say that trainers come a dime a dozen. Teachers are very hard to find nowadays. I'm grateful and thankful for the time that I was able to spend with the great trainers of the past. Trainers that you don't even hear their names mentioned because there are no people left around that knows about these trainers. These trainers come from an era past, and they were good teachers, and I learned from them. And most of the people around the day is calling themselves trainers. They didn't learn from nobody. They learned from the internet. They learn from YouTube and things of that factor, what they see on the internet. Then they take that information and they run with it, and they think that they know, and they don't know. I see this mistakes all over the world, even here in Poland. I see mistakes compounded by other mistakes. So that's the moral of that story.
So would you be having your fighters running backwards on a treadmill to get themselves better footwork?
I think that is bullshit. But people are doing what they think that they know that they're doing. They think that what they're doing is contributing success.
I asked one question and one question only. Anthony Joshua wasn't fighting against a tennis ball. He wasn't fighting against water, and he wasn't fighting against a treadmill. He was fighting against a 6'2", 6'3" man who punches with both hands and is a fighter.
Is Andy that tall?
I think he is. Well, he's 6'1". I don't know. Maybe he's 6'1". But even so, he was fighting Andy Ruiz with two-fisted attack. And I read something quite ominous today on Twitter. Somebody said, oh, yeah, Joshua's going to beat Andy in the rematch because Andy's enjoying himself too much. And he got on Twitter and he went, that's the problem with social media. It only shows you snippets of what's really going on. He says, I'm on my post and I'm training harder than ever because I'm not prepared to give this up.
Well, I don't think Andy Ruiz is nightlifing, and I don't think that he's overwhelmed by becoming the champion. I think it's something that he longed for, something that he labored for.
Yeah, I think so too.
Something that he's very aware and conscious of, and that he's going to work even harder for the rematch.
I do think so too. The fact
I don't get that from him. I don't get him being that stupid.
No, and he's got a top trainer around him as well. He's got his Manny Robles.
Yeah,
he's a good trainer, is he not?
I knew his father. I don't know him.
What was his trainer? What was his father like?
Father was a decent trainer.
Okay.
Father was a decent trainer.
Yes.
From what I know of him, he was a decent trainer.
Okay, well, he's done a good enough job with Andy Ruiz, don't you think?
Well, he's the champion of the world, so
You can't knock that. And he beat Hercules. That's the main thing. He beat Hercules, the man that was unstoppable, unbeatable. So that means something, I guess.
That was an embarrassing loss for Anthony Joshua. He didn't just lose; he was embarrassingly. He lost embarrassingly. You know, he lost embarrassingly, and the rematch is going to be even tougher.
That's what I believe.
Because Andy Ruiz is aware of who he is, and he doesn't want to relinquish that title. He doesn't want to go back to obscurity.
No, I don't think so.
So he's left to prove that it wasn't a fluke. He's left to prove that I really beat him, and I'm going to show you why I beat him in this rematch. So Joshua is fighting an uphill battle, and I suggest that he leave the treadmills and the water aerobics and all these other things alone and get down to business.
That's what the one thing that I'd like to see from him, which I haven't seen so far. What's more concerning is that the trainer, Rob McCracken, is nowhere to be seen in any of these videos.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can't go far without having a teacher. All right? You can't go far without having a teacher. You got to have a hands-on teacher to steer you to the right, steer you to the left, or keep you in the center. It's not going to go well if he's taking it upon himself out of emotion, out of, boxing is a strange sport. So boxing is the only sport where friends and neighbors can come in and say something to a boxer, and the boxer will endear that and run with that.
He was doing a workout. His legs were sprayed apart. What the hell is he doing? Spray your legs apart and conceding your height. And then
I told you that a long time ago about him, that he was doing that.
And even the jab he's throwing, he's throwing a pack of jabs. The same nonsense. He's repeating bad habits. So in coaching, I say that if you're going to practice, don't practice bad habits. But it seems that he's going and practicing more bad habits.
Well, it seems to me that he's not conceding as to why he lost. He's not accepting the fact that I lost, and by his antics after the loss shows me that he's learned nothing.
But who's around him to tell him that? Who's the captain of that ship? Who's the person going to say, look, Anthony, you need to make changes? And you need some experience. Who's to say it to?
If there is somebody around, they're not getting through.
Well, it ain't going to be Eddie Hearn.
Getting through. Well, you took Lennox Lewis and you take Wladimir Klitschko, prime examples at heavyweight. They failed and they said, listen, I got to get somebody here to teach me, somebody that I can respect, somebody that I can, really pay attention to, I can sink my teeth into.
Exactly.
And thus came forth Emmanuel Stewart.
And that's the first thing I would see. Joshua gets knocked out. It's like, okay, fine. I need to make some changes here. I need to bring somebody in to help. That shows a sign of a guy that really has seen there's a problem and there's a need for change, and it's gone out of his control. That would be the first thing to see. But what are we seeing? Videos of Anthony Joshua doing all sorts of Rocky training and a war-to aerobics and training on a treadmill. And I mean, what is that? Who does that crap? Apart from him.
Well, the truth of the matter is that even if he beats Ruiz, which at this point, I have my doubts about that, he's still got to face off against Alexander Usyk in his very next fight. In his very next fight, he's going to have to face off against Alexander Usyk. Usyk is the #1 contender at the WBO. So even if he wins the title back from Ruiz, he's going to jump out the frying pan into the fire versus Usyk.
And it won't be Dillian White, because Dillian White's shut out completely now. Fury and Wilder signed for the rematch February 22nd. And Wilder's got his rematch against Ortiz. So that basically shuts Mr. White out for the year. Which I told everybody he was never going to get that title shot. A waste of time.
The thing with boxers now, as Mike Tyson said the difference between then and now is that I was a killer.
They're businessmen.
Now a businessman.
Exactly.
Which I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with boxers getting paid. I don't have a problem because they've been on the bottom rung of the ladder for so long, and now they're getting wiser and they're getting smarter. But don't let that freeze you out of the picture, period. In the days of old, fighters would go in and they would take what money they can get. And they would go in and beat the champion and say, okay, now y'all have to deal with me on this level because I'm the champion and I'm a free agent. But the guys now, they got to be free agents without signing with nobody. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Everybody wants job security. And the promoters are no different to the rule. So if they want to get their foot in the door, they're going to have to sign a deal with the promotion company. Or the promotional company give you a lousy deal, then what you got to do is say, okay, I'll take the best deal I can get, and I'll go in there and knock the champion out the way Ruiz did. Now you have to deal with me on my terms. But today's boxer show that they don't have that much confidence in their skills because they won't do that. Ortiz was offered, according to the internet, that he was offered $800 million to box Anthony Joshua. Is that true?
I don't believe that.
Okay. Well, it says that he turned down $800 million.
Especially the source that it comes from. I don't believe the source it comes from. So, people in the room, make sure you smash the like button. Uncle Bashir is in the room here, and shout out to Chris Mason who's in the room as well.
I'm saying, if you get a chance to get any $100 million, all right, any $100 million, as opposed to yesteryear. I mean, I worked fights going back to 1969, 1968. Would a guy get $1,000 for a 10-round fight? Heavyweights, $1,000. So when you compare today's paychecks as opposed to yesterday's paychecks, those people from yesteryear would jump on this money. But 100 million, no, that's not enough for me, man. What are you talking about, 100 million? 100 million or any million, of 1 million. Yesterday's fighters was getting $1,000, $2,000, $2,500. If you got $5,000 for a 10-round fight, that was
but Uncle, you got all those hangers on as well, remember? And the publicist and the strength and conditioning trainer and this and that and the devil knows what.
Well, that's to their own undoing. Because ain't none of those people go inside that ring with you.
No, they don't. They don't. This weekend we've got some heavyweight bouts coming up. What are your thoughts on Daniel Dubois against Nathan Gorman?
Tough fight.
Really? Okay.
Tough fight, but I got Dubois winning the fight.
Mm-hmm. How for you? How does he win the fight?
7-8 round KO.
Okay. I think it's a 7-8
round KO.
Okay.
But a good competitive fight. And if Dubois is not as sharp as he could blow that fight.
He could do.
Nathan Gorman is a good fighter.
He's a good fighter, but I think he lacks on the punching power side of things. He's not a huge puncher.
Well, the beautiful thing about boxing is you don't have to be a huge puncher. All you got to do is be a consistent puncher.
Consistent puncher, that's right.
I think that Daniel Dubois is too strong for him.
That's what I'm thinking. I kind of went and I did at first I couldn't pick between the two of them, and then I went back into the amateur pedigree, and I saw that Dubois had a lot more amateur experience than Nathan Gorman. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to go with Dubois plus the amateur experience he's got as well. That always helps. More international experience.
Who else?
Dave Allen's fighting David Price next week.
That's a pick 'em fight because David Price got such good punching power.
Mm-hmm.
And if he lands on any heavyweight in the division, he can cause problems.
That's what I'd like to see, if he can hurt Dave Allen early. That would be interesting to see. He'd be the first man to stop Dave Allen like that.
Yeah. Well, if anybody can stop him, Price can do it.
Price can do it.
Is a big puncher.
He is very big. Dillian White versus Rufus next weekend.
I like Dillian White by late stoppage.
Okay. Oh, this weekend we've got the fight Samuel Peter versus Hughie Fury. You still sticking by that prediction?
I think the Samuel Peter that Las Vegas can beat Hughie Fury. But again, that's sparring. The actual fight, Hughie Fury is in a better place to win because he's coming off of two dismal performances. I think he won a fight since those two performances that he lost to Brad Pulev and Joseph Parker. I think he has a win under his column since then. But I think that Hughie Fury realizes where he's at right now, that he's in a prime position to move forward in the division, but he needs to get a win that night. So with that thinking, I think that Hughie Fury should be able to pull out a decision over Samuel Peter, either late stop. It wouldn't look good if old man Winter came along and beat him at this point in his career. So Huey needs this win.
I'm going to go with either Huey stopping Samuel inside the distance, inside the first 5, or Samuel retiring on his stool. That's what I'm going to be brave and say that. Your thoughts? Your thoughts?
I can see that happening.
One other fight is fighting. I think Amir Khan's fighting Billy Gibbs this weekend. I ain't interested in seeing the fight. That's
like, who cares?
Exactly. But good evening, Reverend. One fight I have got a lot of interest in, but it's really annoying me. Is Keith one-time Thurman. He's really annoying me. The things he's talking about Manny Pacquiao is hugely disrespectful. Hugely disrespectful. Pacquiao's for the who's who of boxing. Why would Pacquiao be concerned with Keith Thurman?
Pacquiao, to me, is a true ambassador for the sport of boxing. I can't think to say anything bad about Manny Pacquiao because he's faced down the division's best for many years now.
Mm-hmm.
People say that he avoided Floyd. Floyd avoided him. He avoided Floyd. Floyd avoided him. But my thinking is that Floyd Mayweather can fight whoever he wants to fight, whenever he wants to fight. So I think that Floyd avoided Manny Pacquiao, not Pacquiao avoided Floyd, because Floyd can fight whoever he wants to. And I don't think Floyd had wanted Pacquiao when Pacquiao was hot, when he could really cause some problems. And as you see, Pacquiao is still going with a good win over Thurman. If he stops Thurman, I think that qualifies to make a Floyd Mayweather rematch.
You would want to watch it.
I think that if he stops Thurman convincingly, I think that he can stir up the naysayers and put up the money and make the fight the rematch between him and Floyd.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I think he can stop Thurman. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think he has not that Thurman is a bad fighter.
No.
It's just that Manny Pacquiao is a highly underestimated boxer.
It's that speed. It's that speed. It's the in and out speed he's got.
And he's resourceful.
Mm-hmm. Thurman's a puncher, but he punches wide, and Pacquiao punches straight. And I've seen the two guys training, and Thurman just looks to me. The two guys training, it's like playing in slow motion and playing in somebody pushing the fast forward button, watching two guys train.
Well, I'm interested in this fight, because I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan. He's a very, very exciting fighter to me. He's one of the few guys that I enjoy watching box now. In this day and time,
yes,
he's one of
the few
fighters that I really, really
enjoy watching.
I
get that too. Uncle Kenny asked the question: how's Uncle Bashir doing tonight? Hope you're well, sir. Does he think Fury Wilder are making the same mistakes as AJ with agreeing to fight in February before even coming through their next fight?
Ask that question again.
Kenny asked the question: do you think that Wilder and Fury are making the same mistake as AJ and Wilder did, and not take the fight now and wait until next year to fight?
That's a good question. But I don't think that Fury and Wilder is in the same venue of AJ versus Ruiz. I don't think so. I think that timing is good for their fight. I think the timing is very good for that fight.
Who'd you back in that rematch?
I'm going with the puncher.
Wilder.
I'm going with the puncher. Yeah, because I figure even though Fury is going to probably be out in front on points when the lights go out, Wilder has that match. He has that magic, so I'm going to go with Wilder. And with the added weight, I think that it'll do Wilder good. I don't think it'll be a detriment to him. I think the added weight is going to give more validity to his punching power.
Okay. Does Uncle believe Canelo has any shot against Kovalev? Breakdown and prediction.
I haven't even considered that fight. It just shows you the time that we're in, that a middleweight can jump up to light heavyweight and beat the light heavyweight champion. But I haven't even given that fight any thought.
He has.
Kovalev is a good boxer. Canelo is slick, but I don't know if he can carry that kind of speed and agility to the light heavyweight division. So it's a lot of pros and cons that I have to go over in my mind before making an assessment on that fight.
Okay. Uncle, do you think we'll ever see a middleweight or a light middleweight move up to heavyweight and become heavyweight champion of the world again, like Roy Jones did or James Toney did?
I don't think in our lifetime, no. In our lifetimes, no, I don't think so.
Not again.
No.
Why?
I just don't see it. I mean, Roy Jones was an enigma, if you will. He had that kind of awkward style, speed, with power. So there's a lot of things to be considered when you go from middleweight to heavyweight. I don't see nobody around close to what Roy Jones was at that time. Roy Jones come at you from any angle. You go southpaw, orthodox, and it was speed, and you couldn't catch him. So no, I don't think that will happen again in our lifetime.
I know Ward was thinking about it. He was thinking about moving up, and he felt that he could have got inside and caused Joshua problems. How do you think that fight would have happened if Ward had moved up to heavyweight?
Ward was a educated boxer, very articulate, very pinpointish. But even Ward was getting hit. He got jarred up at middleweight. I believe it was middleweight. He got jarred up and he got knocked down at light heavyweight. So who's going to believe that he can go up to heavyweight and avoid getting hit by those guys? No, I don't think that it's going to happen again in our lifetime. Like I said, Roy Jones was an enigma, and I think that time has come and gone.
What about James Toney? James Toney fought with that division.
Yeah, James Toney is a master boxer. James Toney was slicker than cooking oil, so there's no wonder what he could do.
One guy I'm surprised never fought in the heavyweight division? Bernard Hopkins. I'm surprised he never did it.
Yeah, it's a surprise. But Bernard Hopkins was clever enough to live in the land of the heavyweights. He could live in the land of the giants because he was just so educated inside that ring.
There was some whispers of Anthony Yarde being big enough to fight at heavyweight. What are your thoughts on Anthony Yarde at heavyweight?
Anthony Yarde would have to get through the cruiserweights first. If he can make an impact at cruiserweight, then we can think about heavyweights. How tall is Yarde? I've never seen him in person.
He's about 5'10". I've seen him a few times, about 5'10". He's not much taller than myself, actually. Probably an inch taller than me.
I'm 5'9.5",
So he's about an inch taller than me.
I don't know about that.
You're not sure about him as heavyweight.
No, I'm not sure about my heavyweight.
Him as a light heavy beating Kovalev.
Well, he's got a tough. He's up against a tough fight with Kovalev. They're fighting in Russia, so that's gonna be a tough fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a tough fight for Anthony Yarde to win.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, if Anthony Yarde can go into Russia and lift the title from Kovalev, then it might change my thinking about him as a boxer, period. Because that's a tall order for him to do that, to go into Russia and come out with a win with those belts. So that's amazing. That would be an amazing feat.
What do you make of Callum Smith versus Billy Joe Saunders at super middleweight?
Who cares? I'm not excited about the fight. You know, that's why I'm not into it.
No, I know you. Exactly. I was going to ask you, actually, the weekend, I was very impressed with the fighter. Not the guy that won, but the guy that lost. Jamal Charlo fought a guy called Brandon Adams. And I thought he was technically sound, brilliant. Cross-arm defense, blocking, slipping, throwing shots back. Technically brilliant. Just didn't throw enough punches.
He might have a home in the division.
That's what I'm thinking. I was thinking to myself, see that boy right there? If he could just throw a little bit more punches, throw a few more punches, right? I think he could do something really, really good in that middleweight division.
Yeah, but he can't let the momentum pass him by. He's got to get busy. He's got to get right back in there.
I was more impressed with him than Charlo. I like Charlo. I do like him. But I see him, and then I see another level, which is where Golovkin and Canelo are. And then I see Charlo just below that. You know, because Charlo's yet to show me he's got that next gear. What are your thoughts?
Again, growth. Growth is the key factor with the Charlos, both of them. It seems like they got to one level and they're just in neutral now. You know, I haven't seen them improve none since they've been in the position that they're in right now. I like to see them excel. I like to see them move up. Improvement is the key word.
I'm going to throw something to you out there. You tell me what you think of this. How does it make you feel when old school fighters suddenly come out of retirement for one more payday? So, like, let's say, for example, if Sky were to go and pull Enzo Macronelli out to fight someone like Lawrence Okoli, or maybe Bellew was to come back for one more cruiserweight fight against Okoli, or Macronelli at light heavyweight versus Boazzi. What would you think of that? Or Tony Bellew against Okoli, pay-per-view? Do those fights interest you at all?
No, I think that those guys that retired, I think their time has come and gone. And even if it didn't physically come and go, mentally it's come and gone. And I'm always wary about a guy that comes back for one more fight. I'm worried about those guys, you know?
Because
like Brian Jennings is saying that, I want to do this in boxing, I want to do that in boxing, I want to do this in boxing. In the same breath, he says, "Oh, I'm only going to be around for 2 more fights."
Did you hear that? Did you hear that from Stacey McKinley? 2 more fights. What kind of stuff is that? He's already got.
What are you saying to the fan? What are you saying to the fans? You know, that worries me.
It worries me as well. That basically is basically saying you got 1 foot out the door of boxing. And for me,
you said that did just weeks before a big fight against Joe Joyce. So what are you saying? That I'm going in there lay down against Joe Joyce? I'm sure that gave the bettors, the gamblers, that gave them some big incentive.
And I think that I tell you what else. I suspect the Joey DeWaco fight, against Gassiev. I think the only reason why Joey DeWaco is fighting Gassiev is because he's been given a gagging order. And that's part of the gagging order. Yeah, we'll give you a big fight. Keep your mouth shut. We'll give you a big fight. we'll put you on a big. We'll give you a fight against Gassiev. That's the only reason why I think Dwayko's fighting against Gassiev.
Well, I know Joey. Joey's a good guy. He's a tough fighter, but he's going to have to be tough in that fight. He's going to have to turn it up a notch in that fight. Gassiev is looking to make a big impression coming into the heavyweight ranks, and he's trying to do it at Joey's expense. So Joey has to turn it up.
He's going to knock Joey out. He's going to knock Joey out. He's going to knock him out. Sorry.
You think so?
Absolutely wipe him out. Yeah, I do. I've heard stories about Gassiev's punching power, and they were disturbing.
Really?
Yep. We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Well, time will tell. When's the fight? 2 weeks?
I think 2 weeks from now, a week or two from now, yeah. So
When is it?
there's a week or two from now, I think. And then you've got Stacey McKinley's fighter, Trevor Bryant, fighting Manuel Shaw August 1st.
I heard Fury said that if Jarrell Big Baby Miller can't fight him, that he's going to fight the Stacey's fighter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who Fury fight Trevor Bryant?
Yeah. I mean, Tyson Fury said that if he can't get Jarrell Miller, that he wants to fight Trevor Bryant.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Good fight.
Who wins?
General thinking says that Tyson Fury wins, but we don't know what Trevor Bryant has. That's the only X factor in that. You don't know.
You don't know.
But he did say that if Jarrell Miller wasn't available, that he wanted to fight Trevor Bryant.
Okay. Because I think he believes Trevor Bryant's going to beat Manuel Shaw, I think.
It should be Emmanuel Shaw.
Yep. And then you've got Stavern fighting on the same bill as well.
Stavern is fighting again?
Yep. Don't worry, I'm going to be talking to him in half an hour, Uncle. I'll be talking to him. I got to get to the bottom of what the hell that was all about, that fight against Joyce. I have no idea what that was. And I was with him all that week.
Who is Stavern fighting now?
I'm going to find that now. I'll find out. But I my suspicion, I don't know if it's true, but I suspect he's going to go down that WBA route. Trevor Bryant's a Don King fighter, isn't he?
Pardon me?
Trevor Bryant's a Don King fighter.
Yes, he is.
I think Emmanuel Shaw, Don King fighter.
Emmanuel Shaw?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if I were guessing, man, I think that WBA title, Don King's going to try and get control of that WBA title. I really feel that. And then make it more regular, make more defensive with it. I think that's what they're going to try. I think that's what they're going to try and maneuver to. Your thoughts on Joe Joyce, by the way?
From what I know about Joe Joyce, he's a pretty solid contender.
Yep.
You know, he's average boxer, a good puncher, strength, power.
What about defense and speed of foot and hand?
I haven't seen anybody in with him that can coach that kind of test for him.
Can Jennings provide that?
I don't know.
You know they're polar opposites, right? I'll think about it today. They're polar opposites. One's attack first, one's defense first.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. Jennings better be on his P's and Q's, otherwise he's going to be looking at the lights.
Real early. You may end up going the same way as Joe Hanks. 1 minute was standing up, throwing punches. The next minute was looking up at Joe Joyce.
He's got power, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Uncle, is there anything else you want to say before we let you go?
I had Puerto Rico boxing Joe Joyce a couple years back out in Las Vegas.
You were telling me. And he keeps telling me.
He can punch. He can punch. He can punch good. He's a good puncher. He's rather slow, methodical, but I think that's going to improve as time goes by. It's going to get better. But if he can pick up his momentum and speed and stuff, he'll be a force to be reckoned with, you know.
But he's Adam Booth's training him now. Yeah, he left Abel Sanchez. Now he's training Adam Booth. He left Sanchez after the Stavern fight.
Yeah, well, you got to find out. Changing trainers. He changes trainers quite often.
He does.
Maybe he's trying to look for one particular style or something. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
His manager says that they didn't like they didn't think that they paid attention to everything when for the Stavern fight, he was getting caught too often. They didn't like that. So they changed trainers. Something like that, they said.
Oh, God. He got caught too much.
What's that?
Would you say he got caught too much?
Yeah, he got caught too much. That's what his manager was saying. That's what Sam was saying.
Okay. Did somebody tell him it was a boxing match?
Well.
What do you mean he got caught too much? I mean, it's a boxing match.
Well, they were expecting to do something different against Stavern. So they changed. According to the Sam, that's what he said.
I hear Joe Joyce calling out everybody, but I haven't heard him call out who said.
He said that Michael Hunter was below their level.
Who said he's below the level?
Sam said that.
Yeah. Well, I better differ because he's his last 3-4 heavyweights, he's waxed them off.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how below his level? I think that's a challenge.
Of course it is.
You know, I think that's a legitimate challenge. I think that Michael Hunter would take Joe Joyce hands down. I think Michael Hunter would take that fight.
Stacey McKinley's not in agreement. He was saying basically that he thinks Michael Hunter can't live with the big guys, and in terms of when he actually gets hit by a big guy, he's not going to want to know.
Well, you know, that's Stacey's opinion. I'm not in agreement with that opinion. I think that Michael Hunter belongs in the land of the giants because he's got that style. When you have a boxing style, a boxing application such as a Michael Hunter, you can live in the land of the giants, just as Chris Bird lived in the land of the giants for so long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Chris Bird lived in the land of the giants for a long time.
A lot of these boxing,
Michael Hunter is slicker than Chris Bird.
A lot of these new age boxing fans know nothing. They don't know nothing about lighter, smaller fighters fighting in the land of the giants. They go, "Oh, these are big heavyweights." They say that, and then then they'll say, "Oh yeah, by the way, they loved Mike Tyson, who was 5'11".
Michael Hunter is taller than Mike Tyson.
There you go.
Michael Hunter is a boxing dictionary. And Michael Hunter, I keep telling all the people out there in the listening audience that Michael Hunter is going to cause problems. Michael Hunter, to me, from what I know of Michael Hunter is Michael Hunter's worst enemy. Because he gets these lapses where he doesn't really, you know, probably live up to his expectations. But if he comes in that ring prepared,
right,
you know, where he's trained properly, mentally and physically and spiritually, if he comes in that ring like that, there, he'll kick the hell out of the average heavyweight that's out there. Any of them. I don't care who they are. Any of them. Tyson Fury included. If Michael Hunter wants to box, if Michael Hunter wants to be in that ring, trust me, he's going to cause problems from anybody.
Your thoughts on Spilka versus Chisora?
Who?
Spilka versus Chisora.
I'm here in Poland with Spilka now, but Chisora is a tough come forward guy. And I think that if Spilka tries to stay there gun for gun with Chisora is going to get him. Chisora is going to get him. But if Spilka boxes him from that southpaw stance, he can cause problems.
Yeah, it caused him a lot of problems.
If he boxes, if he uses the ring and boxes, he can cause problems. But he's got to send a message to Chisora early in that fight, because if he doesn't send that message and it doesn't get through clearly to Chisora, Chisora is going to be like a freight train
all over him.
Forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Jumping on him. He's going to cause problems.
Yeah.
So Spilka he's got to get the message across to Chisora that you can't just come in, because if you do, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you hard. Once you get that established, then you can, you can exact a rhythm, if you will. You can set up your own pace and go ahead and box. But if you don't do that, get that respect early, you're not going to be able to box. But Derek Chisora is one of those I don't give a damn guys. You got to show me, because I'm coming forward.
Yeah. All right. Uncle, anything else?
No, I'm just here.
All right.
I'm just here doing my job.
Well, I'll send you the link to the Stavern interview so you can listen to that later on in your time. We'll find out, what's going on with him. But I know he's fighting.
What is the guy talking about the judges?
Oh, Jack Sunderland. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to listen on that. What just exactly was he covering?
He was talking about the judges and how dodgy decisions are affecting the fighters, the amateur fighters today, and the professional fighters. He said that the Anthony Joshua, his first round win against the Cuban, he should never have got that win in the Olympics because that guy won and not Joshua. He says that how there's decisions in amateur boxing are ruining young boxers' lives.
Yeah, and also in the professional ring.
Oh, yeah.
It's been going on for years.
Of course.
You're going around and you're saying that this guy won and that guy, the whole world is watching the real winner. And the commissions are always saying, well, we don't want to overturn the judge's decision. I'm saying, why? I mean, what's the use in having modern technology and not utilizing it? Everybody said, I don't want to overturn the judge's decision. If the judges are goddamn wrong, overturn the decision. You got modern technology, you got television, you got video replay, and nobody is trying to change the decision. What is that? What is somebody? What's that? They got a chamber next to God or something? They can't overchange the judge's decision. Some of these judges, in my opinion, some of these judges are corrupt. They're clearly on somebody's payroll, and they have to render these decisions to stay on the payroll. It's time in boxing now to stop that bull. Stop it, because I've seen it ruin hundreds, if not thousands, of boxers' careers. Boxers just say, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm walking away. And they walk away and go get a job.
So wait, so what should this title be for this latest video? Should it be BS to Joshua's training or BS to the corrupt judges? Which one would you prefer?
BS to corruption in boxing, period.
All right, BS to corruption in boxing. That's the title of the show, Uncle.
Yeah. It's not right, because you got people out there who are giving their lives, a great big portion of their lives, and they get in that ring and they battle it out, only to have somebody with an ink pen sitting at a desk to say, "Oh no, you didn't win," and the whole world saw who really won. It's not right. It's not right.
No, it's not right.
And the same thing with Ivana Hobson, we've got to go into the United States, and we've got to box Clarissa Shields in her hometown of Flint, Michigan. You know, and I want to make it clear for you, this show, when we win the fight, we want to get the decision. If it goes to a decision, you know, if it goes to a decision, if it goes to a decision, we win. We want our just due. We don't want somebody with an 8-pin set behind it just to say, "Oh no, she didn't win," because they're supposed to say that. Not because they're supposed to say that. Give the winner the fight. If we can't stop her, then we look at to win unanimously. You know, and I want to highlight it through this show that we look at the win. If we lose, I'll be the first to admit after viewing the fight, I'll say, yeah, we lost. But if we win, we want justice. We want to be able to walk out of there with the title in hand. I want no hanky-panky because of some judge said, no, this is how I saw it. You know, anybody can justify this is how I saw it. No, it's not supposed to be how you saw it. You gotta go by the rules that govern the fight, not how you saw it. So,
have you got a strategy for the fight, Uncle?
Yeah, I got a strategy for the fight. Go in there and kick her ass.
Go on, Uncle.
You know, go in there and kick her ass. That's the strategy.
Go on, Uncle.
You know, I'm training Ivana Hobson to fight Clarissa Shields, who is a very, very competent, good fighter. But Ivana is a competent, achieved fighter too. So I'm going to train my girl to go into the ring and fight Clarissa. Fight her, you know. Box when it's applicable and fight when it's applicable.
You think you got the package to do the job there, Uncle?
Of course I do. If I didn't think I had the package, I wouldn't be here. I don't just show up to get a payday. I take pride in the work that I do as a boxing trainer. I heard Bernard Hopkins speaking about trainers and teachers. I consider myself to be one of the foremost teachers in the world today. I paid my dues over these 50 years. I paid my dues. And I command and I demand my respect. I don't think that there are many teachers left in boxing today. I don't think there's many teachers in boxing today from where I can see. When I sit back and observe trainers, and believe me, I'm always watching trainers. I'll sit back and I'll observe what they're teaching, what their application is. You know, and then I'll decide from that point whether this is a good teacher or whether this is just a novice trying to act like he's a teacher. But boxing is a tough sport. And only the people that pay attention is going to learn.
Trainer, I wanted to ask you about Robert Alcazar. How good a trainer was he?
I didn't get to know Alcazar that good. He was with De La Hoya.
Yep.
I didn't really know him. You know, there's a lot of trainers around that I don't know. I haven't had a chance to observe their work.
Yeah.
When I observe their work, then I can tell you just about what they know. Just from watching what they do on the floor with a boxer, I can sit back and I can observe, and I can tell you what they know and what they don't know. You know,
Uncle, you need to be the Bible of boxing. You need to leave a holy book behind.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. You know, I'm trying. You know, I'm like multi-man. Everybody's pulling, which is a good thing.
Well,
in boxing, it's a good thing.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to come and kidnap you. You know that.
Listen, I'm for it. But when people,
yeah, you're for it.
I'm in demand. Wait a minute. When I'm in demand, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing. You're in demand, but
because in boxing, you know, boxing boxing trainers are overlooked a lot.
That's true. I can't knock that. Well, I'm glad.
They're overlooked a lot because most managers and most promoters figure that they can just slide somebody into a slot. They don't care about the quality of what they're teaching or what their applications are. They don't care. I just want to slide somebody in to fill this slot up so I can make my money with the boxing. They don't care how the boxer looks. They don't care whether the boxer either wins or loses. They just want to make their money.
Yeah,
You know
I get that. I see that.
So when Bernard Hopkins came up with this topic, I think that he was spot on.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of teachers inside the sport of boxing. You got a lot of fly-by-nighters, wannabe trainers, you know, wannabe teachers, but they're not. I observe all the time from the sideline. I'll sit back and I'll observe.
Well,
I'll decide what they know, what they don't know.
Well, do please have a look at those new boxing techniques and positive vibes from Anthony Joshua. Look at the new videos. I'm sure that you'll be highly impressed.
Well, I think that young man, big problem now is that he's in denial if he thinks that it was just his fault that he lost that fight, or was it something that was being built up all of the time? As I told you, going back 3 years ago, I said, this guy's got flaws. I said, if somebody doesn't attend to those flaws, sooner or later they're going to come into the light. And they came into the light versus Ruiz. Now, the worst thing that can happen is that he does not observe that. If he does not admit that to himself, if nobody else, he's got to admit to himself, so, you know what? I need somebody to teach me. I need a teacher.
I think he might have to get knocked. He might have to fall rock bottom for that to happen. Sadly,
I hate to see that happen again.
I
really do. I hate to see that happen again.
I wouldn't.
But I'm afraid if he does not get somebody in there right now,
arrogance will cause that. So arrogance will cause that. So I'm done with it. Today after watching them videos of him with that guy with a towel and the tennis ball, is unacceptable. I'm sorry, totally unacceptable.
Send that over. Send the link over to me. I'll watch.
I will do. All right, Uncle. Right. Stavern's in the house in a few moments, so I'm gonna have to love you and leave you, Uncle.
Okay. All right.
All right. I'll send you the live link for the Stavern interview. All right.
Tell Stavern he need to get a grip on himself.
I'm gonna tell him. No, you are. I'm gonna tell him. He
needs to get a grip on himself.
I'm gonna tell him. Don't you worry. I'll be telling him. But yes, Uncle, I'll send you the link. All right.
Right. Okay.
Take care, Uncle. Speak to you soon.
Yep.
There you go. That's Uncle James Ali Bashir with us again on BWTM. Within the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we will have the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world with an announcement. He's back in the ring. He'll be fighting, and he'll be making an announcement right here on BWTM in the next 30 minutes. So 10:30, Stavern will be in the room. We'll speak to you soon. Take care.